I can kick us off, I guess.
I'm gonna
Uh,
wave my hands like this so I know when to edit.
so this week I was working on tab portability. We already had the ability to like move tabs to new workbooks, but we now have the ability to move tabs between workbooks. It's important that, well, it should be noted that like you need to be able to, rather, the workbooks need to be built off the same shared model to be able to move tabs between them. But the first way that tabs can be moved is via what we call slug hacking, which is copy and pasting the mini UIDs that represent query tabs between workbooks. So I just want to show the failure. So this is a tab that's from a different connection than all of the other tabs in my browser. If I try to copy this one to, you get an error page that just says that the tab specifies, or the URL specifies tabs from different workbooks or with different shared models. Yeah, I think because we have UI, we're not really expecting people to do this, but I guess like power users like Colin have tried to do this in the past, and we will still enable them to do it. So just here is a happy path case of slug hacking from one workbook to another workbook. The query that I'm copying over now has or is built on a workbook model with custom field. So we have bigger age, which is just age plus 1,000, I believe. And when you slug hack it over to here, also you need to slug hack. You paste the tab in this middle section right after the E. If you want the tab to be focused after the slug hack, you need to also change the UID at the end of the link. But if I do that, you'll see here is bigger age. The workbook model that the query was copied into changed and has bigger age now. Um, and additionally, the behavior changes a little bit when a workbook is named. So it's a piece of content now. If I went to go do a different query, you'll see we will go into an explore. So you're not pushing the workbook ahead at all. But you have the capability to do that if you'd like. So now we're in explore. You get a little toast every time a tab is copied over. Um, and I didn't do a good job. So the tab doesn't get focused unless you're manual about it in the slug hacking case. Um, but yeah, we'll save this. Sure, we'll move the workbook forward. And then there's also UI to do this now, so you don't need to slug hack. So now I'll show you. There's an import tab here in the file menu. If a workbook is named, you have to go into edit mode for it to be active. And when you click import tab, you get this little prompt here that says paste a tab ID. Obviously, it's required. If I put some garbage tab ID in, it hits the back end, checks if there's a query there. This is a garbage one. I could do one from another, same thing as before, query that is incompatible with the workbook because it is on a different shared model. We should get an error here. And then also there's also UI that I forgot to show for grabbing a query or copying a query. So you can either go to the tab nav down here or the tab file menu up here and click copy to existing workbook. You get this little dialog with a copy input. There's some stuff that needs to happen here to give a little indication when this is successfully copied. But this is on my clipboard now. I can go back to the named workbook and try to import this. And we're in edit mode. It imported the new tab. Um, and the dashboard also will have brought in the new chart as well. Uh, but yeah, there's a lot of different steps, so I'm sure I maybe missed a little corner of it, but uh, I'll probably release it on Monday, and then I need to do a little bit of cleanup.
Awesome. That's probably our most requested feature, actually.
Is the next step to do like cross browser window tab dragging?
I have no idea how that would work.
Eli, quick question. Does it write an entry to the workbook history?
Oh yeah, I should be able to share that. It does indeed. Yeah, I felt like I was taking too much time, so I skipped a few. You see there's an import query item here. So if I were to like import again, you'll see it. Just grab the same one. Too many tabs. There's another one, import query. So that's what we're calling it for now. Open to changing it if we want.